just got back from record store shopping and did a little bit of damage. Went to two record stores while wearing the Jaime's shirt from Minneapolis. And first place I went to was... Actually, I'm going to start with the second. Second was Criminal Records. And there, I picked up a re-release of a 7-inch, Elliott Smith and Pete Krebs, on a very beautiful yellowish, orangish, opaque, weird swirl vinyl. And Norah Jones's remix EP, which I'm pretty sure was released for Record Store Day a couple years ago. Then started off record store shopping at Wax and Facts. Picked up that shirt and asked the guy at the record counter what he would recommend for some local music. I wanted to stay in the 7-inch range just because it would be a little bit cheaper, and he recommended the Earl Live Series East Atlanta Restaurant and Lounge East Atlanta Village. This release by a band called Newt and Doot, and it's supposed to be very funky and a little bit strange, and that's basically what I told him that I was looking for, was something experimental, strange, maybe jazz, indie rock, but just something different. So he recommended that. And then the other one is Spirits and the Melchizedek Children. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It is hand numbered, number 418 to 500, and looks something like that. It's supposed to be really droney guitars, kind of My Bloody Valentine type of sound, so we'll see how that goes. Also comes with a nice download card, so I can throw that on the iPod here soon. And I think that they had a little bit better of a selection, especially when it comes to used. I was able to find a lot more jazz, a lot more of the artists that I was looking for. Not necessarily saying that Criminal Records was bad, but I just found more at Wax and Facts. First 12-inch is Charlie Parker. Then a double EP by Ornette Coleman, Science Fiction and Skies of America. This one was super cheap, by a band called The Streets, and guy is kind of a rapper, I guess if you would call him that, from the UK. Really like him, and I was super stoked that when Jared went over to look at an electronic album, this was sitting right next to it, and it was cheap. And then finally, I picked up one that I already had, but this one is in better condition, and it was still cheap-ish, especially compared to what I would find in Minneapolis. A classic, one that I actually listen to, especially before I go flying. I listened to it when I flew out to Las Vegas, and I also listened to it a few days ago when right before I flew out to Michigan, and that is the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Time Out is the name of the album, and my favorite on it is Blue Rondo a la Turk, right there. And I'd have to say that right now my anxiety level is at probably a -7, because really I'm just only anxious to listen to music, and that's a good anxious. I would take that any day.
Did you bring your record player?
I didn't bring my record player. I know.
You can listen to any music. No new technology to listen to.
Gosh. Well, maybe I can try to spin it on my finger if I try really hard. It's not working. But a couple more that are on the list that might get to. Otherwise, so far, Atlanta has been pretty sweet, and get to see some baseball games here.